What's up guys, it's Ben. I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about change. Change is something that we all go through. It's either something that we actively choose to do. Maybe you're going to go on a new experience, you're going to do something you've never done before, or it's something that passively happens to us, right? Sometimes you're just going to be sitting there, you're just going to be living your life, and something happens to you that had nothing to necessarily do with you, right? But it happens to you, and all of a sudden, your experience of life is totally changed. It could be something temporary, it could be something more serious, which would cause permanent change, right? But changes happen to us, and it's all about becoming comfortable with change and actively seeking it. When it comes to seeking new change, many times it's going to feel quite uncomfortable. You're going to think about something that you maybe want to do, but you're a little nervous to do it. You don't have the guts to go do it. I know for me, for example, after high school, I went to Israel for a year and I went on a gap year program, and it really taught me a lot, right? I met a bunch of new people. I made a bunch of new friends. I experienced life on a whole other continent of the world, a whole other side of the world. And just to be in touch with the culture of the people there and to be away from home for an entire year, it taught me so much, and I'm so grateful for that experience. I had never been away from home for that long before that. And I remember before the experience, I was pretty nervous about it. I was a little stressed out because I didn't know how it was going to feel to be there. I was going with friends from back home, but still, I was going to a whole new environment, and I didn't know how that would feel. I'm also really close to my family, and being away from my family for that extended period of time, right? It's an entire year. I felt that would be a little bit challenging for me, a little bit tough. But what I could never realize until I'm actually there is how much that experience would make me grow and how it would help me become the person and the man that I am today. So all I'm trying to say is that whenever you're, on the fence about a new experience that could potentially be life-changing, like this gap year example that I just gave you for myself, always take these opportunities. You never know how much of an impact they're going to have on you. And many of the times they're going to help you grow so much that you're not even going to recognize yourself afterwards. Like, I remember after I came back from that experience, I was so different. I was way more confident in myself. I had way more social skills. I was way more in tune with myself. I had a lot more self-awareness. A bunch of all these things I had a bit prior to this experience, but I'd grown so much in all these respects that, if you had put me in a room now and me in a room a year ago, and you put us together, it would not be the same person at all. It would be two totally different people. And that's why experiences like this are really life-changing. And these are the ones that are going to be the most anxiety-inducing for you to actually go through. They're going to be the most uncomfortable in the moment. But in the long run, these are the experiences that are going to be worthwhile. These are the ones that are actually going to bring about your growth in a serious manner. So I definitely encourage you guys to take experiences like this whenever you have them. Maybe you're not going to go on a gap year, but maybe you could go on an exchange program while you're a student in university or something of that sort, where you're pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. You're going to a new place, right? You're experiencing a new culture, and you're living a totally different life than what you're used to. And see how your body reacts to it. See how your behavior is impacted, is influenced. And you're going to start learning a lot about yourself, and you're also just going to grow a lot as a person. So these situations are really win-wins, and they also, of course, make you way more comfortable with the uncomfortable. And in life, it's very important to become comfortable with the uncomfortable, because so many things are uncomfortable for us to do. So many things that are new that we've never done before, right? They're automatically uncomfortable. So if you start becoming comfortable with them, that's going to change your life for the better. One way to actually become comfortable affecting change in your life is to think about past experiences that you've had that were a change for you at the time, right? Things that were novel for you at the time, and see how you responded to those experiences, right? So maybe if you're afraid to remove an addiction of yours or something that's been weighing on you, think about a past time that you had a serious addiction and you got rid of that. How did that feel? Maybe that was, a little bit tough to get rid of in the moment, right? Maybe you had all these temptations, all these urges to continue endorsing that addiction and playing into it and engaging in activities that are associated with it. But what you have to understand is, look at how you felt afterwards, right? You felt so much better once you were rid of that anxiety, once you were rid of that addiction, right? And that's kind of how you have to look at life. Things are always going to be challenging, but the result is always going to be totally worth the challenge and more. And you're just going to be free from that addiction. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to affect change, look at past experiences where you've had to affect change and how positive it was for your growth. They may be uncomfortable in the moment. It may be tough in the moment to go about bringing this change upon yourself. But once you do it, it's a life-changing experience, and it's always worth the effort. The third thing I'm going to say is devise a plan for how to actually bring about this change. Let's say you want to get out of the house more, right? You're a homebody. You have a couple friends, but you don't have a huge social circle, and you want to get out of the house more. What is a way that can bring about change in that respect? So something you could do, for example, if you have the means for it, of course, is to go on a summer vacation, on a trip with your friends in the summer, right? And you guys are going to go to a new place that's going to allow you to experience a new culture, see the world from a different light, which we know is very good for our intellectual development. And it's going to allow you to connect with people from different walks of life, right? It's going to allow you to have a sick story when you come back home to tell all the people you know. And it's also going to allow you to become way closer with your friends, because if you're going somewhere with your boys and you're just experiencing that with them, then you guys are going to become way tighter as a result. The last thing I wanted to mention about change is that while it may be tough, at some point it may be stressful, and it may be anxiety inducing, it may be challenging, right? What you have to understand is that change brings about new opportunities for you, opportunities that you were never able to give yourself beforehand. And these opportunities, they could lead to a lot of success for you, a lot of things that, you know, you might have never realized you had the potential to accomplish. For example, if you haven't been on a date in a while, right? And it's gone to the point where now dating is outside of your comfort zone. Going on that first date to get back into it, that might be a little stressful, right? It might be a little nerve-wracking. And if it's your first date ever, it might even be anxiety-inducing, okay? But once you come back home from that date, whether it was good or bad, you're going to feel so empowered that you faced your uncomfortability and you dove into it anyways. You dove into those waters anyways, and you survived, right? You came out and you feel like now you have a new experience. You learned more, right? You learned about someone else, you met someone else, and you learned a lot about yourself in the dating situation. So overall, you've grown a lot, right? And that's an example, but it could be, you know, generalized to all new situations in general. And it's really about, when you come into a new situation, do you look at it as, oh, I'm scared, I'm uncomfortable, and I'm gonna go away from this? Or are you like, wow, this is new, this is novel, let me go into this because I know the value it's gonna bring to my life, and I know the success it's gonna allow me to experience. So that's the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, share it with your friends. We're trying to grow the channel. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. So tap in with me and be a part of the journey.